Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. Welcome to the fourth and final part of renovating a MOC from start to finish, where the project I'm working on is this Lego Modular Medical Center. It is a two-story build, and in the past couple of videos I've been working on replacing the staircase on the inside to an elevator to accept a wheelchair, and of course making all the changes to the internal layout to accommodate the change. Not as easy as it seems. I did do a couple of things, such as adding in this new sliding door on top of these doors that open here, and this is so that the wheelchair can actually fit through the doorway. If not, it doesn't fit through the door frame. And also had to work out the exact position of the elevator shaft, figure out the size of the elevator so that it would not be too big in proportion to this particular build, and also had to add in some safety features. In this particular video, I'm going to be completing the renovations. I'll be doing all the detailing for the interior, and I'm also going to make one change. I want to add a back door over here to this build. So I will be taking this out and putting in a door and seeing how that goes. Let me first show you a change I did offline after I finished the previous video. Here's a top view of the build. The change may not be noticeable, but trust me, it is significant. First, let me show you the elevator in action. Just move the back here, and you can see the wheelchair come up right here. And there's this safety door, which is a red flap, which hinges open, and this allows the wheelchair to come out. Now, originally the space here was only 4 studs wide, but because of the different protrusions of this red safety door, the wheelchair couldn't fit. So there's nowhere for the wheelchair to go. So what I did was to push this wall over here back by 1 stud. Now this is the lab, the medical lab. So it's now slightly smaller, but it will still work. More importantly, at least now my wheelchair has space to go in through this corridor. Originally it would just come out and it would be stuck, so that made no sense whatsoever. Now of course the wheelchair can't fit through these doors, so we'll just assume that an orderly will push the wheelchair all the way to the edge of the door and then can help the patient in whichever room he or she needs to get into. So that's the change I did offline. I pushed this back by 1 stud and everything works really well. Still lots of space for the elevator and elevator shaft itself, as you can see, but all the safety features are in place. So what I'm going to do now is to take off this floor, and I'm going to work on adding in a back door, and I'm going to use this transparent door. Now, one change I did make offline was actually change these doors from transparent to trans blue. I did find another trans blue door, so that worked out well and gives it a nice medical look. But for the back door, I don't have any more trans blue doors. I'm just going to go with this transparent door. It's the back door after all. I think it's okay to have it a bit different. So let's build this up first and we'll see what happens. Now I have to figure out what space I want, or exactly where the door is supposed to be, because of what I'm going to use the space here for. This is going to be a waiting area. So I do have chairs, for example these chairs here. Now these chairs have to be offset with jumper plates because of the back. If you just place them like that, notice it's not in line with the back edge of the plate. They will knock the wall, which this is set against. So I'll have to set this by half a step forward using jumper plates. But just for now, I can roughly place the position here. So if the chairs are here, this door can be somewhere here. So that would probably make sense. So this would be the position of my door. Of course, I have to build it down and remove those bricks. Now, what I don't like about this, it is odd numbered. So the question is whether I can push it like that. I think that will work, although this is more comfortable if I place it here, I think. What if I put it, maybe I could even put it here. If I put it here, I could then put this maybe like that instead. And then I could put maybe a water cooler here, but not enough space. I think I will put this newsstand. So maybe this not a newsstand, but basically just a magazine rack or newspaper rack. That could go here. In my original MOC, I had a water cooler, which is this, but I don't think there's any space to put this water cooler anymore. So that will have to go. But I think this works. This makes it easier. And it's simply because I want to work with even numbers. It's easier for Lego math. If not, you need a lot of odd number bricks. So let's do that. Let me just explain what I've done so far. I've dismantled a lot of the building, basically because I wanted to put in the tiles first rather than build it up and then taking it out to put the tiles in. So I've designed the front over here to give it a bit of an ornate look. And then this goes all the way here, and I had to do the toilet because again it's really narrow. So I put in the toilet. The water tank is built into the wall to save space. This is an electric toilet over here, so you can control the bidet as well as the flushing, etc. There's a small sink. The tap comes from here simply because this piece over here is a panel piece. That's why you see the minifig lying down. That is a panel piece for the X-ray room. So the panel piece is needed. As you can see, his hand goes into that crevice. Without it, there's no way to place this all the way there. But because that's a panel piece, there's no way I could put a modified brick to put in a tap. So I did it this way instead. I created a bracket with a drop down hose like this. So it's almost like a drop down tap. I think that's still plausible, and that works in the space I have. So small toilet. This probably can't be here, I just realized, and that's because the door is going to be here, so I need a place to put this soap. I need to find a place for the soap dispenser, but basically that's where I am. Once I tile here, I think I'm going to do the X-ray room first, and then I'll tile everything and then put it back together, and at least I've got the first floor done. There's no space to put a soap dispenser built into the wall, so I've decided to just make use of this same bracket. And we have the tap and the soap dispenser next to each other, hanging down like that. So that solves the problem and works with the space I have. Here we have the completed interior detailing of the first floor. All the tiling is done. X-ray room, toilet, including details, the elevator area, the reception tiling, and this waiting area along with that newspaper rack. And of course, we've got this back door installed as well. Everything looks really clean. There's kind of a symmetry throughout on all sides, and I think this is pretty good. The amazing thing about this particular build is this patient over here has been here throughout the renovation process. He definitely is funny, and he definitely has a lot of patience. We are now going to finish up the second floor by detailing these three rooms. This is going to be the patient recovery room, the medical lab, and the operating theater. And I have most of the builds ready. I did make an adjustment to the medical lab from my previous MOC, and this is the table that we have. We've got a microscope with samples all around, a Bunsen burner heating up some liquid over here, and we've got a chemical analysis machine, and that's probably a blood sample. And this fits in just nicely, as you can see, really tight fit, but it fits in. I'm not going to push it in all the way because I do have to towel the area, but that gives you an idea. There's just enough space for someone to work inside. So let's pull this out, towel this area, and I'll complete the interiors for the other rooms as well. Here's a look at the progress. So there we have the medical lab all tiled up, as well as all the equipment inside, and maybe we can have a look through the window over here, just barely. And for the patient's room, It is different from my first mock. In my first mock, the patient room was this side, so now everything is almost a mirror image. We've got the bed, we've got the EKG machine, the IV drip, a television, and a little nightstand over here. So now I'm going to work on the operating theatre over here, and we will be done. And it looks like we have finished the interior of the second floor as well. The operating theatre is completely finished. We've got the operating bed, the EKG monitor, lots of controls, a TV, the X-ray board, also the sink and the medical trolley, and everything is tiled white for a very clinical feel. And that's basically it. I think I have completed the mock. This second floor is done, the first floor is done. Let's put everything back together and see how it looks like. And finally, after many videos of building, remocking and renovations, we have completed this 2-story modular Lego Medical Center. I think everything looks pretty good now. We've got all the functional space and details worked out, from the sliding door for the wheelchair that leads to the lift, and the lift goes up with safety barriers in place. We've got all the interiors done. We've got the X-ray room over here for the ground floor, the waiting room and reception that you can also access through the back door here, and we have the doctor's consultation room here. On the second floor, the operating theatre that we last built. We have that medical lab there, and this landing for the second floor, and of course the patient room over here. And you can see that nice sticker from the Friends Hospital set, and that gives you an idea of how the blinds can be drawn for all the other rooms. So I'm really happy that I've completed this. I think this is pretty satisfactory, but if you've got any comments or further suggestions, please let me know in the comments discussion below. I will be putting the plans out for this particular mock now that it's complete and all the fine details are done, so please look out for that. In the meantime, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and interest in following this particular project of building a mock from start to finish of this medical center. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. I've got a new mock project in mind and I can't wait to show that to you. Thanks for watching. Check out these 2 videos before you go.